Evening, everyone. Good to see you all. So my name's Neal. I'm founder of WorkfromHub. And when Chris said kind of new startups, we launched last week, so pretty fresh. It's been in here a while, but it's in the real world now, so very, very fresh. And I guess in the context of kind of city transformation, this is trying to reimagine underused spaces and bring them to life. Just very quickly, a little bit about me and my kind of journey in city transformation. So I previously worked in the combined authority before it was a combined authority. So a kind of bit of history in the public sector, worked at Arup, had a little bit of a career swerve, almost joined Uber to be head of cities for the north, and then something happened and the taxi business went under and the job got disappeared while I was in my notice period with Arup, and I went, ooh, what do I do now? So I decided to set myself up as an independent consultant, building on my expertise, working in transportation. And then, you know, when you've got one business, why not have two? So I decided to set up a real business which was delivering a new service called WorkfromHub. And that was basically me taking my own advice on what cities could look like in the future. So as we've all seen, there's just been a massive disruption in the way the world works now. The kind of old, kind of typical 5-day week in the office is over, and people are looking for somewhere else to work, somewhere else to be creative, these kind of spaces, but also those spaces that aren't quite at home. And that's kind of, we saw this was happening in the world and saw there was an opportunity to respond to that. And what we saw, that technology just massively and at pace. You know, Zoom, Teams, all of those kind of platforms were available for us to connect. As that diplomat found out when he was doing his interview in the BBC, it's not always a great space to do work from home when the kids want to join in. But there's lots of other kind of distractions and disruptions that sometimes make working from home really complicated. Places like this are amazing to get people together, but often can be not great when you do want to do focus work and really want to get your head down and get something done, and not perfect for everybody. So it's just about trying to create that space between these two places that isn't home, isn't the office, isn't a co-work space, where you can really focus and get work done. And our hypothesis around city transformation was the idea that in the next 5 years, we'll start to see more polycentric growth. So effectively more stuff happening in more places, not everything in the middle, lots of little industries and things happening in lots of different locations. A little bit like you might have heard the 15-minute city or the 20-minute neighborhood, those kind of things where you can get everything you need within a really short time. So we thought, well, what if your office was a lot closer to you? Couldn't that be part of the 15-minute city? So we created WorkfromHub. So effectively a distraction-free place for people to do their best work. And we're just totally reimagining these places. So that picture there is Swinton Rail Station. What used to just be a bit of tarmac is now an office that you can just pop in and book and use while you're waiting for your train, which is probably delayed, possibly cancelled on your way up to Leeds. And we're going to put these all over the place. There's one at the Sheffield bus interchange at the moment. Hopefully you've walked past it, probably gone, what the hell is that? Hopefully you now know. And we're going to put these across the whole of South Yorkshire, across the whole of UK, and then who knows after that. We launched our pilot over the winter. We've been testing it, and just last week, as I say, opened it up to the public. What we're trying to do is just create remote working, office type working to be a more productive, happier way of working, where you can get your head down and focus. And there's also an opportunity for those asset owners, so people who own land that want to have it reimagined to make money. Very similar to kind of Airbnb kind of model, where you've got something you can make more use of, someone can make a profit from it, let's share the benefit of that opportunity. I think one thing that we noticed, particularly from my experience as well, was around commuting. I don't know what your experience of commuting has been over your life. My least favourite thing to do, 2 hours there and back. I was losing most of my life, not seeing my kids, all that kind of stuff. Got a kind of 30-second commute now, maybe kind of getting back into the town every couple of days a week, getting it back into your life a little bit, but actually breaking that up and separating your home and work life is really important. So being at home isn't great. Having a 20-minute walk, fantastic. So trying to link into those opportunities to get all the great things from working from home, but all the benefits of separating your home and work life. So that's a little view of inside the hub. Quite a few people have described it as a TARDIS. It's one of those things where you look at it and say, that looks really small. What is it? You get inside, it's actually quite big. It's about 2.2 meters squared, if you really wanted to know. But you can get up, you can stand up. Someone's actually took their bike in there to store it while they're working inside the hub, because they had quite an expensive electric bike, didn't want to lock it up. We had no idea someone might do that, but it's just great to see what people do when you come up with an idea. We use smart locks on the outside, so every session is your session with a unique code, so no one else can get in while you're in there. connectivity for Wi-Fi, which is great for calls. We're looking at 5G, but you don't really need it at the moment, but you probably will in the future. And then we're looking about what are the other devices that we might be able to link into this service to massively enhance the user experience, and also to reduce our operating costs so that we don't have to send real people into it to diagnose problems. A little bit about our journey. So as I said, we've done some prototyping and testing, kind of craning those into the bus interchange was fun. Had to do it about 5 o'clock in the morning so we didn't disrupt all the traffic and knock anybody over. So we had our trial in the interchange, which is a private trial with people invited just to test it out. Figure was, could we do it legally and safely, which we could. As I say, we've just launched the service. We've got an app coming in June. It should have been here now. You know, these things happen. And then from beyond there, we just want to go massive with this. If we can prove it in Sheffield and South Yorkshire, we can probably take it anywhere. And we want to stretch the technology as well. So we can see what's happening with 4 and 5G. We can see what's happening with AR and VR. If these are gateways to the metaverse, then that'd be pretty awesome. But let's see where we can take that. And then the problem we're solving is not a UK problem, it's a global problem. So let's make it work here and then take it wherever we can. So that's WorkfromHub. And I just wanted to give you a few topics that you might want to ask that I'm particularly interested in trying to resolve and you might be able to help me with. So I've mentioned IoT devices. So what can we put into our system and service to massively enhance that experience and reduce our costs? What can we do as part of the wider ecosystem of smart cities? So parking, pubs is interesting, but what else can we do to make sure that the data that's created from these places is available to authorities to plan cities? A good kind of end of the month Friday thing for us is cool places to locate the hub. Lake District often gets on that list, or other places where you just want to totally get away from things. Might be a bit difficult to put one there. And lastly, a little bit of an offer. So we've launched last week. What do we want? People in the hubs. So if any of you want to give it a go, if you place for any amount of time for your next day on me. So please give it a go. Let me know what you think about it. But that's the offer I wanted to make today. Happy to take any questions afterwards. Hopefully you found that interesting. Thank you very much.